1480 to order. Also at this time, I'd like to welcome the online viewers and our first, I think, one for a long time, someone in the gallery. If I were to say it, almost looks like the twin of our newly elected councillor, so welcome, PJ. In front of you is the agenda for meeting 1480. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, we shall move on. The minutes for meeting number 1478 are presented. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, can I get a mover?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Business arising from the minutes. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Hearing none, quiet bunch. We'll move on. New business. Is there any new business to add tonight? Hearing none, we shall move on to correspondence in front of you. Item number 1, Department of Transportation Infrastructure, Circular Capital Works, for your information. Item number 2, Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Circular Government Programs, that's for your information. Item number 3, Department of Transportation Infrastructure, Circular Deadlines for Applications, for your information. Item number 4, Local Governance and Land Use Planning, Election Date will be moved to October 2nd, 2025, for your information. And item number 5, Department of Transportation Infrastructure, Circular Asphalt, that's for your information. That being said, we shall move on to reports. Finance, Councillor Freak, please.
Finance met on November the 15th, sorry. Councillor Freak, Town Manager Jason Young, Town Clerk Lori Humphreys, and regrets from my other folks on the committee. Item number 1, Annex Progress. Progress Claim number 35, recommended approval. Item number 2, Main Dam Road, Progress Claim number 1 for $555,601. I make a recommended approval. Item number 3, ADC. 2 engineering fees here, $8,247.21. Another one for $36.93 and 31 cents. Recommended approval. Item number 4, OMB, $5,175. These are winter tires for the fleet. Recommended approval. 3 quotes were obtained. Item number 5, Timberstone, for $26,276.35. We've got pavement patching. You guys can see the listed streets here. Recommended approval. Item number 6, the finance audit for $22,310. Recommended approval. Item number 7, Ridgeview Contractors for $1,035 for a library sewer plug that Public Works was unable to take care of. Recommended approval. Item number 8, Chandler for $4,543.93. Scrubber pads and brushes. Recommended approval. Item number 9, Western DMO for $550. The Deer Lake ad in the Wayfinder app. Budgeted item. Recommended approval. Item number 10, Stuart McKelvey, $2,734. Services provided. Recommended approval. Item number 11, Adams Electrical for $3,288.22 for the lift rental for our storage area. Recommended approval. Item number 12 is the plasma cutter for our public works for $749, and I recommend the approval. I make a motion to pass the finance report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. I just got one quick one. Item number 4, is that fleet? That's for like the heavy duty vehicles? That's for light duty? And there's a quote there?
We got a list. We had Scotty in on the meeting.
I'm just curious because that's stating $431 per tire. It doesn't seem to add up right.
Well, Jason, we'll get the invoices for you.
Okay.
But we did get, he did get quotes for us. Or Dave, you would have the quotes here. Okay.
Just Mr. Mayor, the quote, the invoice is attached there. When you click on it, I think that included the steel rims and studding per tire.
Okay, so that's tire and.
Yeah, tire, rim, and studding.
Okay, that makes
So I
sense.
think it was $97 a rim and $17 for studding per tire.
No, thank you, that's greatly appreciated.
Thanks for
The reason I
uploading
brought it up
the,
is I was looking
invoice.
for
Yeah, I was actually looking for it earlier as well.
winter tires myself, and I'm like, holy smokes. Okay, all right, sounds good. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to accounts payable. Councillor Freak, please.
Okay, we are going to go items 1 through 29, and we are going to leave out number 3 and number 29. So, accounts payable for the amount of $20,911.09. I make a motion to pay the invoices.
Alrighty, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried.
I'm going to step out for 3 for conflict.
Item number 3, B&S Trucking for $6,644.16. I make a motion to pay the invoice.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. All right.
Item number 29, Western Steelworks for $577.44. I make a motion to pay the invoice.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. That concludes finance and accounts payable. Moving on to planning, community development, corporate services. Councillor Langdon, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Department of Planning, Community Development, and Corporate Services met on Wednesday, November 13th at 1 p.m. In attendance was myself, Deputy Mayor Jones, Administrative Clerk Krista Jones, Public Works David Thomas, and Town Manager Jason Young. Item number 1 on the list is 24 7th Avenue for sidings and windows on the garage, and the permit has been issued. Item number 2 under decks and extensions, 17 Elizabeth Avenue for a patio, and the permit has been issued. Under accessory buildings, item number 3 is 1 Scott Drive, and item number 4, 28 Amanda Avenue, both for garages, and both permits have been issued. Commercial buildings for item number 5 and 6 is 17 Spruce Street and 8 South Main Street. Replace the deck and window trim and extension, and both permits have been issued. For new dwellings is 22 to 24 Murdoch Drive. The new dwelling meets all requirements and currently just waiting on the real property report to issue a permit, but it is recommended for approval. Other issues thus far is there is a stop work order provided to the property of 81 Riverbank Road on October 17th, and work continues. Work did continue on the project, and the garage is now completed, and the town manager is working with the MEO and other members there to look at the next steps for that issue. Item number 9 is a recommended approval for municipal and provincial affairs to amend the regulation for a floodway area in our community, and the recommendations are stated in below, and the committee recommends approval at this time. I just want an update there as well. So far this year in 2024, we have had $11,324,000 in new extensions and upgrades and new dwellings in our community, which is the most we have seen in this term thus far on council. Make a motion to accept these minutes, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councillor Langdon. Moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. I just want to make one quick note for a call for question. Was that supposed to be 81? Riverbank?
86.
Or 86, sorry, but noted as 81.
86, yeah.
Oh, is that item number 8, Mayor?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. That's 86 Riverbank Road is the civic address on that one.
No, and I'll
Perfect.
first tell you, I'm struggling. I certainly think I need glasses. Okay, call for question. Hearing none. We have a mover and we have a seconder. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, Councillor Langdon, for noting that the cost of permitting and the bills in the community, it's See us shuffling council already. Anyway, we're moving on. Let's see here. Moving on, as I was speaking with Public Works Deputy Mayor, which is now the new chair. Public Works Deputy Mayor Jones, please.
Okay, we held our Public Works meeting on November the 14th. Myself, the Town Manager Jason Young, Director of Public Works Dave Thomas, and Public Works Superintendent Scotty Elms. The items are presented in front of you. Number one, we have credit from Cahill. They will have credit from Cahill for the water treatment plant. The company will up between $60,000 to $80,000. We will get back. We're just waiting for confirmed numbers. We recommend that we use some of this credit for a new chlorine meter and a turbidity meter. Ours is getting old, so we recommend that we get some of this. And also with the remaining, we're probably looking at a project in town that we wouldn't budget for, that needs to be done. So once we get the numbers back, I will come back for a recommendation on that. Number two, culverts for Reed Lane. We need to replace the culverts across Reed Lane or Fifth Avenue. We recommend putting a tender for this work. And I guess some of the funds, we could probably look at this, one of the projects. Number three, we have some assets up there now that we like to dispose of at our Public Works. The items are presented in front of you: a 1981 Leroy air compressor, a 1995 Top Kick fire truck, 2011 GMC pickup, a 2014 Ford pickup, and a 2014 GMC pickup. We recommend that we put a tender out to dispose of these assets. They are no longer used to good for us, and the vehicles they can't be fixed to put on the road. And number four is a work update. That shows you done some riverbank repairs on Riverbank Road, water and sewer tying the Sunrise Crescent, Ireland View Heights, Joel's. Curb stop repair on Whites Road, Crossing Road, and connection to of the airport and Woodford Drive. And some sign repairs and then a few potholes, hauled winter sand and salt and ditching around town. So I move that we accept the report of the Public Works as presented.
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor Jones. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Just one to the chair. Item number 3, disposal of assets. I guess, Jason, this would probably be, that's all basically stated in your tender as is where is, correct?
Oh, yeah. When we do put a disposal of assets, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
You
no,
get what you pay for. There's no,
Yeah,
there's no warranty on any of the
No,
pieces of equipment or anything.
I just recall a council. I
Not
can't remember.
guaranteed to be certified for the road.
No, I just recall some conflict somewhere happened in the province and an asset sale that didn't state that, and it came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it quite clear that if you got to drag it off the lot, then it's yours.
Not to be dragged back.
Not to be dragged back.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So we have a mover, a seconder. Did I call? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Moving on to Economic Development, Councillor Hancock, please.
Yeah. Economic Development met November 13th, 1 p.m. In attendance was myself, Councillor Hancock, and Councillor Amanda Freak. Economic Development Officer Gloria Field, and and the town manager was not at this particular one. Number 1, the brand video. The filming is complete, editing has begun, and the EDO will report back with progress updates. We were so pleased with the amount of engagement by community members and even visitors to Deer Lake. We captured some beautiful footage of our town and are so excited to share this story. So stay tuned for that. Number 2, tourism accommodation tax, an update. In speaking with Holly Scott Walsh at Municipal Affairs, she has recommended waiting for the regulations that will support the new Towns and Local Service Districts Act, which is expected to be released very soon. She has agreed to send us a copy the moment she receives them and support us as needed. Holly is not anticipating the process to take very long, and we should be able to have this in place early 2025. We will have to submit an updated budget with the new tax sheet once it is in place. Number 3, annexed furniture and fixtures, conferences, and events. Economic Development Officer has been researching and connecting with potential funders regarding fixtures and equipment that will enable us to host events at the annex. Minister Fred Hutton provided us with some direction in this regard, and Gloria will be connecting with the resources he provided and will bring back her findings. That's for council information. Number 4, highway welcome signs. Council requested Economic Development complete an exercise to reimagine the highway signs as the previous design was considered beyond our capacity. This exercise was completed, reducing the cost by approximately 80%. The estimated cost is around $10,500 per sign. The Economic Development Officer is seeking direction for council around the budget aspects in relation to the sign. The question, I guess, is will this be pursued in the 2024 budget, or will we wait until 2025 budget, completing spring, to be completed spring 2025? Essentially, we'd like a discussion here around this particular piece. Number 5 is actually being deferred for further information. Number 6, age-friendly funding. Town of Deer Lake was approved for $9,975 to support the completion of our age-friendly assessment and action plan. The Economic Development Officer has expressed interest in engaging with Health and Wellness Committee in order to kick off the process together. The application is attached if you wish to review it again. And, an addition, if you'll allow, for the spillway trestle, which I'll call number 7. Is everyone okay with that addition? It's just a little update.
Go ahead.
Okay. We have been having some discussions in recreation as well as economic development around the refurbishment of the spillway trestle. The main concern at this time is the surface of the trestle and the safety for walkers and riders. Town Manager Jason Young has been in discussion with provincial federal governing agencies regarding the trail upgrades, and we are hoping to move up the scheduled maintenance by collaborating with partners. And this is just an FYI for council. It's something we're working on, basically. Okay. Motion to accept the report as presented.
All right, thank you, Councillor Hancock. Moved by Councillor Hancock, seconded by Councillor Freak. Call for question.
I guess, for discussion and the signs, I don't think the highway signage is in this year's budget, so she probably will have to put it in the budget for next year.
That's fine. So I think the big piece is, hey, as long as we know that it's going to be in that one, or we're going to pursue that, then
Yes.
then she'll seek out 3 quotes. She wants to, be able to pursue it, but wants to make sure that it's something to pursue, basically. So we're okay to proceed in that regard?
Can we also look to see if we had any funds left over?
We could send to finance, Jason, for a look if you want.
Yeah, and what the plan was not to make a decision tonight, but to look at, through our budget process now. We're currently looking at current and future year. But it is something, Chair, we can probably bring back to
Sure.
a meeting next week.
Not a problem.
Because we'll have a finance meeting between now and next Monday's meeting, and probably have an update, Deputy Mayor, that we can bring back determining on the allocation for budget 2024, or if it's going to remain as a budget item for next year.
How do people feel about the reduction? Is everyone okay with the fact that it changed from the previous around 65 to roughly 12.5-ish? Is that more in line with what people are thinking, or?
Well,
And I
actually, you
kn-
got to look for 3 signs, right? So,
Yes, of course.
So by the time, and I looked at design there, nice design. I don't know if you want to tweak it or whatever, but I guess after tonight,
Yeah,
if anybody has any opinions, you better
Well,
give
that
your
particular piece was sent out, by Gloria.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm okay with a bit of a, the first one was certainly a beautiful sign, but
Yes,
like you
yes.
said, I don't think it was in our realm, in our scope of, we certainly have budgetary restraints at the first one, but I think we can also do a better job at this one. I think the design
what-
can
what-
be updated a bit to reflect our more, I found it looked very much like our original Deer Lake style, which I've noticed we've gone away from a bit lately, which
Sure.
I think the sign, maybe a couple more options, but in terms of the actual hard product, I'm okay with that.
Sure. So previously, we discussed the sign design in a previous meeting, and I know that the EDO sent out the sign through email. If anyone wants to add any further comments, just go into the email and respond to Gloria, okay?
Yep, and I think I've stated before, I'd rather see 2 better signs in the TCH and a lesser sign in the Northern Peninsula Highway, because
I got you.
everyone passes the other 2 signs, so at some point, right?
Okay. You can, if you are you going to be giving some feedback in an email?
Yeah,
regarding
I
this?
can certainly do that
Sure.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Perfect.
problem. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, any further comments, questions, concerns?
We discussed, but it's not here, so I'm just looking for an FYI for the table. On the 75th anniversary, we were hoping to get a steering committee and stuff. Do we have consensus of council? Is rec kind of moving with that?
Yeah. So, sorry, Brett, do you want to go ahead? I can just say that it was already accepted at this council in terms of the fact that it'll exist. I think that Brett, you were going to maybe spearhead, and certainly I can help you. Whatever.
Yeah, certainly. I think that was the
Representatives.
next step there. We are working to get some. Obviously, I've changed a little bit now, but I hope to work with Darren and Councillor Fitzgerald and Councillor Hines to the next step there. But certainly, and yeah, it's certainly still moving, and we hope to have something fairly soon on that as well.
Will we be looking for a steering committee from like the community as well, if there's interest?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, all
Okay.
great discussion. Just in speaking in before the shuffle, I did speak with Councillor Langdon as the chair of REC, and his involvement or wanting to be involved to spearhead, like if you wanted to make this an ad hoc type of thing or conjoint with recreation, by all means, whatever wishes the council are, more the better. But I think this, again, like you said, is very important that we, get this moving to celebrate 75 years within our province with the upcoming season upon us. Just quick question, is that something that, because it's a great note, are you looking, is this more of a summer event, or is that just preliminary talks? So far?
Yeah, so I think from preliminary, you mean the 75th anniversary? Sorry?
Yes.
I think from preliminary talks, we're looking to something like, I'm sure you recall the Come Home You're a Mayor.
Yeah.
Really, we want to make a very formal event there with our annex on the date, which is May 17th, I believe, Laurie. Not
Yeah.
sure the exact date, but it's around there for the actual 75th anniversary. So I think everything will kind of be built around that with several events throughout the year as well, similar to Deer Lake Live in the past or Come Home You're.
Perfect.
Bit of community engagement and some marketing around that, and I think our signs can reflect that and stuff. So,
Official notifications on the wall, May 27th.
oh, sorry, May 27th is our 75th.
I think we could have a guest speaker like May the 5th. So anyway, if you're spearheading, we'll
Well, listen, I don't
continue.
think anyone's looking that close.
Yeah.
May sometime.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. A few days out. Okay, awesome.
All right. Great conversation as always. So hearing no further comments or questions, concerns, we have a mover, seconder. All those in favor? Motion carried. Moving on to Arts, Recreation and Culture. Councillor Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Department of Arts, Recreation, and Culture met on November 13th at 3:30. In attendance was Councillor Fitzgerald, myself, Director of Recreation, Glenn Wiseman, and Town Manager, Jason Young. Item number 1 was minor hockey banners. So the Recreation Committee discussed the removal of the minor hockey banners from the ceiling of the arena, and some members of the public have expressed concerns about this decision. Prior to the removal of the banners, the Rec Committee contacted the President of Minor Hockey, who had no objections to the removal and provided that as a plan in place. And this plan includes installing a sign in the small lobby leading into the arena, which will list each year and the championships that were won. And a design for this new sign has been prepared and will be discussed, so that's just for council information. Item number 2, new positions for the addition to the rec complex. The rec committee would like to post job vacancies for new custodian and counter staff positions at the rec complex, and we're looking for recommended approval. And I move to accept the minutes as presented.
All right, thank you, Councillor Hines. Moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Councillor Langdon.
Yeah, just one, Mr. Mayor, and more of a comment there, and by no means is this a jab at you there, Councillor Hines, is your first time, but I know the chair, we've had discussions before, and he expressed concern. There was never concern from the public there about the banners that I have heard as chair of REC for numerous years. We did consult with Deer Lake Minor Hockey, and the president keeps getting brought up, and I know the new chair of REC mentioned that it's not just the president, but it's their responsibility to confer with their board as well. So from my understanding, minor hockey, their entire board was fine with it. We never heard anything from the public at the time, and I've actually heard positive response from the public with the 2 recent Red Wings game, because the view vantage points have been increased greatly by the removal of the sign. So, I just wanted to make that clear that we didn't proceed before with negative public concern.
All right, thank you. Great comments as always. Any further comments?
Yeah, number 2, there, Councillor Hines, for new positions. I'm not on finance anymore, but I understand there's been new positions for the annex and we're open. And I guess last meeting, a couple of meetings ago, we discussed certain, staff we looked at in certain areas. And the custodian wasn't brought up. I understand why you need it, but for myself, I would like to know like what the job position, how many job positions, and what the recommended pay is for it. I guess a true finance number, so we can look going forward, looking at it for a budget, and the budget's happening, within the next month, right? So probably should. I like to see some good solid numbers if I can or if possible.
So in respect to that, I'll defer that question to the town manager in respect to Councillor Hines just coming
Yeah.
into the role. So
Yep, I'm good to answer that. It's actually something that we've had in our budget, and actually myself and the town clerk today went through and did a thorough check to make sure, because we feel we're getting very close now to this building being open and ready for public use. And I know when Chair Hines, Councillor Hines was with us in a recreation meeting, we all felt in the room that we needed to make sure that when this building opens, that we have proper staffing and have it to be able to be clean. And one thing I know as myself, as town manager, is that we've been 5 years waiting for this building to open. So we kind of need to make sure when it opens that we're not embarrassing ourselves, that we can't have people in there because we can't staff it accordingly. So Deputy Mayor, I'll certainly have a breakdown for you of the positions specifically that we have for the annex and allow for, I know the Recreation Director has provided the committee with job descriptions for those positions, as well as one overall position for recreation in general that we feel is needed now with this addition of programs and services with this extra building.
all right. So what's your wishes, Deputy Mayor? I know there's a move.
No,
in the motion.
I just on the question, I guess like obviously there's a few things I would do after the meeting. So I like doing confidential. 3 things that we do discuss in confidential: labor, land, and law. So I got no problem with it. I understand that we got to staff the building, and we want to be ready for it. So we're close to it, like our town manager says, and long time waiting, and let's be ready for it when we're ready to open the door on that special occasion. That's all. Thank you.
No, thank you, and I always appreciate Hawkeye's on the budget as always. Sometimes, especially when you're removed from the committee, or not removed, but shuffled around from a committee, it'll be even more of a closer eye, because sometimes we can all miss things. So thank you for that. We have a mover, seconder. Hearing no other questions, comments, or concerns. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Before we ask for adjournment, we're going to do round table. I'm going to ask the town clerk, and I'm going to move on to Councillor Hancock. She's going to say no.
No, I got nothing to say about your trip. Okay.
Councillor Freak, please.
Just a couple of reminders. We have the Santa Claus parade happening on December the 14th. So looking for as much residential and commercial involvement as possible. And this year's theme is your favorite Christmas movie. I just looked that up. Anyway, so you got some time to get those floats ready for the Christmas parade. Popular Christmas movies. So that is December the 14th. Get your Christmas floats ready. There's just a few days left to get your 50-50 tickets at the Legion, and they're sharing the 50-50 with the Deer Lake Food Bank this month. So to be sure to check that out. There's a couple of Christmas markets happening in Deer Lake on November the 30th at the Holiday Inn Express and the Legion. You want to check those out. Support your local small businesses and small crafters. I don't know if you want to, I'll leave Remembrance Day to you with the amazing attendance that we had this year. And I'll leave school council to Kerry. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you. Moving on, Councillor Hines.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing to add. Okay, thank you. Councillor Langdon.
Not much, Mr. Mayor, just my final rec report for the sports. It was a great week in there for the Elwood Regional High Boys Basketball for their, I believe it was their 47th annual Jim Feltham tournament there. They had a great turnout as always there, and congratulations to everyone that competed. And like Councillor Freak said, I'll leave it to you there for the Remembrance Day, but it was a great turnout there this year, and we appreciate everyone coming out and the Legion for organising that again.
All right, thank you. Deputy Mayor Jones.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment that the school held their, student council nominations and votes and all that good stuff. And I guess Council Freak, but she was probably bursting at the seams, but her son did get on the student council, Joel. Congratulations. And I guess for myself, I was talking to my grandson. Yeah, he phoned me today when he got home from school, and he also did make council, a student council, and he had a couple of things he wanted to get going. So I just tell him, some things were good, some things were bad. We don't always get where we want, but hey, way proud of you. So congratulations to Kayla William and Joel Freak on their student council nominations.
Definitely.
And the other ones, I'm not quite sure. He was very excited and said a lot of names, and I don't want to say the wrong names, but the rest, I do congratulate you also. Thank you.
Well, awesome. That's great to hear, especially such a young age to step up to want to be a part of a council in your school is definitely worth noting and recognizing. So congratulations again to everybody that stepped forward, whether you're successful in the ballot win or not, you're all winners. So.
I guess it's, I say again, my grandson, I guess he got this very heartful moment like myself. He said, Dad, or Pop, he said, I feel bad about the ones that never made it.
There you go. Absolutely. All right, just a quick note. Oftentimes we speak about, members in our community, and sometimes it's easy to overlook, which is a good thing, because when there's so many, that means that there's a lot of good things happening in our community. I just wanted to mention a young man that I've been following on social media, Braden Kosh, and he's got a site started, Feathers and Flaws, Newfoundland Labrador, and it's no offense to Gore Black more and those guys with Newfoundland Sportsmen, but I'd say stay tuned for this young man because he's coming after your program. He's doing quite well with it. So I'd advise anyone, if they're on Facebook, like 95% of the population are, to take a look for Feathers and Flies, and some great content, especially around our community and throughout the province. Remembrance Day was held, obviously. It's a day that, you see everybody come together to agree on one thing, and that's the importance of the sacrifice that's been served by many and those that continue to serve. I just want to say thanks to everybody involved, the Legion. It was put off well. On that note, I think we do have to sit down and talk about, I know myself and the Premier spoke about it last year, a lot of things get missed, but just the speaker system and whatnot, how we can, work together, whether we got one and it's a loan or vice versa. But
Throw it in the budget. We'll get HM Audio up next year to set up the audio system. It's such a great event, and is a shame when you can't hear them. That's right.
It's, but no, again, weather was great, which shouldn't matter, but it obviously does. And I want to thank everybody in the community for coming out. On a different note, Riverbank Road, I'd like to put a shout out to Public Works. Any residents that live in the area have noticed that that's now reconstructed, or however which way you choose to define it, but it is a lot better than what it was. It's taken quite some time. I want to get it right, obviously go through the engineering to see if the way we're going to proceed was the correct way, and we'll see how it goes over the winter, and we'll continue to keep those residents or anybody using that area updated throughout the winter. I do believe the plan of attack is, if it holds, that we can cap it next year with asphalt. One last one. I wanted to say thank you to the local RCMP, and especially Constable White, for heading up educational sessions within the school about the use of hardcore street drugs and the uptake and the uprise, and the fact that they are working in conjunction with lots of community partners, mental health and wellness. And it's obvious, folks, anybody can fall in a trap. It doesn't matter on your bank account, your age, your color in life. It can hit anybody's household. And I just want to say thanks to those fine folks, and thanks to youth for actually sticking around and hearing us out. So it's very concerning when they're seeing fentanyl come into our province. So the more education we can do as community leaders and guardians, or parents, more the better, because this is it's a world issue, but we're not immune to it in a small community. I think that's it for me. Also, yeah, I think that's it. So I skipped the town managers. Anything you'd like to add?
I just want to bring up, back on May 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, Mayor, yourself, me, and many members of council went to Gander for MNL this year. It's an annual event that management and council attends. I was quite impressed with what Gander did this year. Not only did we have great meetings, but it was great networking. One of the things I know that I got to attend the urban municipalities meeting, so that's the largest, I'm going to say 20 towns and cities in the province. We attended that Wednesday night, so you get to see a lot of the same problems we're dealing with. So it was great to network with a lot of the other CAOs and mayors and councils to see that, with the new act coming in, how it was all going to play out. So I just thought it was a great meeting to attend, and it's something that we look forward to. Just to update what Councillor Hancock brought up about the spillway trestle. So that is part of the Newfoundland Trailway. So it is provincially owned, but it is something we've had numerous residents reach out, as well as community groups. It's part of the ATV snowmobile trail system, and the bridge is currently in deplorable condition. So us as the town has taken upon ourselves to try to get involved, to get this moving along. I know the province has flagged it for a 2025 project, but we feel we need to do what we can to move that up. So I actually reached out to a local supplier today of the wood that's required for that. It's pressure treated hemlock, and actually had workers go down today and measure up to see. We want to see if we can move this forward, because we feel that not only for the walking trail but also for ATV and snowmobile, it's very important to have this open. I mean, Deer Lake's an outdoor community, so even though it's not ours, it's something we have to take upon ourselves to see what we can do to help move that along. And on the last note with the Santa Claus parade, if the theme is in fact going to be Christmas movies, I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't see Cousin Eddie and an RV traveling down Main Street in the middle of December. So here's putting it out there that anyone that could be Cousin Eddie in an RV, there might be a prize in it for you.
There you go.
Mayor, to speak to town managers, talk about networking, we talk with crime prevention, and they would love to come to the town of Deer Lake, Crime Stoppers, sorry. Any business in town that would like a Crime Stoppers poster for their window, entry to town. I mean, any safe community, it takes a village to keep us safe, not just the RCMP. It's just not their responsibility. If they had some pretty crazy numbers, I think, Gord, they told us there was $7,000 in rewards, but only $200, or it was you, only $200 that was actually claimed. So people don't claim it, which, there's a reward for your efforts for anything, any crime, any photos, any videos, adult protection, all anonymous. They just, cautioned us, if there's somebody speeding down the road, you need to call the RCMP. You know what I mean? Crime Stoppers won't work that way, but anything that can help an investigation of any sort, you can certainly call anonymous, follow up. You'll get a reference number, and then if anybody ever gets charged, then you can actually claim, and there's a reward. But they're more than willing, if there's a group in the community that wants to come together to keep the community safe, they're more than willing to come and make a presentation in the town of Deer Lake.
Oh, great comments, and myself and town manager actually met here locally, and they had spoke about scheduling some meetings, public meetings or consultations with the community with Crime Stoppers, and the fact that they're very successful, and I think they were thankful too for the town's effort to try to do as best as we can and working as a community together. So all great comments. Hearing any more?
Yeah, sorry, just Mr. Mayor, too, on the topic of the RCMP, I'd congratulate their officer, Constable Caleb Perlin of the RCMP Deer Lake. He was awarded the 2024 RCMP Police Officer of the Year last week for his work. And also since 2020, he's been awarded every year the MAD Canada's RCMP Impaired Driving Awards for his work with impaired drivers. And as well, he was earned the top performer through the MAD Canada in 2021. So we congratulate him. And like you guys said, too, we certainly appreciate what the RCMP do in our community. And we know they've been quite busy lately.
Definitely, and I can speak firsthand to the officer that you referenced. He pulled me over twice in 1 week, and the first thing I started to think is, oh my God, what am I doing? But he's making no jokes in his job. I put my single light on not for long enough, as he felt, and next thing you know, I was pulled over again at another time just for speculation, because he's here to keep the community safe. So again, hats off to him. Maybe I shouldn't have put that one out, but I didn't get no tickets, so I'll just say that. At this time, I will call, it is now 8:15, and I'll call for a mover to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hines. It is now 8:15, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.